Shalom Akim, Hayawum Anachnawa, Lamadyum, Dabaryum, Ba Ha I Baryath. Peace, brothers. Today we learn words in the Hebrew. Alright, that's what I just said in the Hebrew. And I'll say it again. It's Shalom Akim, Hayawum Anachnawa, Lamadyum, Dabaryum, Ba Ha I Baryath. Now let's break that down. Alright, let me just change this font real quick. Make it a little bigger for you. Alright. Says yeah, let me make that a little bigger. Alright, Shalom Shalom Akim Hayawum Anach Noah Lamadyum Dabaryum Ba Ha I Baryath. Okay, now this is Shalom, it's peace, and then Akim is brothers, plural. Alright, because you know the word for brother, of course you brother should already know this. The word for brother is ak, which means brother, and then when you put the yum at the end, the yum makes it plural, but it makes it plural masculine. Alright, it's masculine plural. Alright, for the female it would be wath. Okay, for the female it would be wath. It would be a different ending, you know, because it would show like a feminine, you know, that it's speaking about a female, you know, or feminine. Alright, Hayawum. Now the word Hayawum is a word today, but really it's a combination of two words. Ha at the beginning of a word is the, and then your wum is day. So Hayawum together is today or the day. Okay, and then you have the word here Anachnawa, and the word Anachnawa means we. And then you have the word Lamadyum, which Lamadyum means learn, but learn in a plural form. Alright, in a plural form. Alright, and the plural form masculine. Alright, because we're speaking about more than one person here. That's why it says here, it says we. Alright, so now the word for learn is lamad. Right, that means learn. And the word, and then the yum at the end makes it plural right here once again. Alright, so then you have the word dabaryum, which the word dabaryum is words, plural. Alright, and the word dabar is word, and then the yum at the end, as you see here, makes it plural. Alright, masculine, plural masculine. Matter of fact, let me write that down again. The word yum makes it plural masculine. Okay, and I'll explain that in a minute. Then you got the word Ba Ha I Baryath. Now this is, remember, this is three separate words, but when you write it out, you just write it all together. You know, so if you want to separate them, that's fine. You know, just so you can get the idea of how to read it, and you know, and you know how to separate each word. Alright, and we're gonna go into a few things today, you know, but this is one of the main things. Alright, the word, the Ba Ha I Barya is in the Hebrew. Okay, so now the letter ba at the beginning of a word is in. The letter ha at the beginning of a word is the, and then you have the word I Baryath, which is Hebrew. Alright, that's the way you say the word Hebrew. Alright, so now let's go back up here. It says Shalom, which means peace. akyum, brothers. The word ak is brother, and the word yum makes it plural masculine. That's why I put the S here. Now, since we're dealing with more than one person, we have to make all these words in the sentence match who we're speaking to. If we were just speaking to one brother, you would just say shalom ak. You know, you wouldn't use the yum at the end. You know, then you have the word here hayawam, which is today. Ha at the beginning of the word is the. Yawam is day, right? Then you have here anaknawa, which the word anaknawa is we, because we're dealing with brothers. You know, we're not just dealing with one person. So every time you deal with more than one person, you have to make the words in the sentence plural. Alright, so it says anaknawa, which is we. Lamadyam, learn. So we're gonna learn today, right? And the word lamad is learn, right? And then the word lamadyam is learn, but it's learn in plural. Then you have the yum at the end, which I'll write it down again here. The yum at the end makes it plural masculine. Alright, so lamadyam, lamad is learn, the yum makes it plural. The baryum, see, because we're dealing with more than one person, so we have the word the baryum means words. The word the bar is word, singular, and then the yum at the end makes it plural masculine, because like I said, we're dealing with more than one person. We got a naknawa, which is we. Alright, and then that's where we put akyum, which is brothers. Alright, so when you building a sentence in the Hebrew, it has to match, every word has to match the gender of every word has to match the gender of who you're speaking to, and it also has to match it as far as if you're speaking to one person or if you're speaking to many, you know. Alright, so then you have here ba ha baryath, which is in the Hebrew. Alright, so the letter ba at the beginning of the word is in, ha at the beginning of the word is the, and then baryath is Hebrew. Alright, so basically what I said is, peace brothers, today we learn words in the Hebrew. Alright, now the first thing I want to hit outside of this is there's a word called prepositions, right? Now a preposition, right, is it sits before a noun. Let me just write that down. Sits. You brothers could look this up too. Prepositions. A preposition sits before a noun to show nouns relationship to another word in a sentence. Okay, alright, so it says a preposition sits before a noun to show noun's relationship to another word in a sentence. Now I'll give you an example of a preposition which we just have here. Ba and ha are prepositions. Why? Because they're placed at the front of a word. That's why every time I say the letter ba at the beginning of a word is in, and ha at the beginning of the word is the. Alright, then you have, you know, the endings, you know, which we'll get into that another time. So a preposition sits before a noun to show noun's relationship to another word in a sentence. Now we're going to give you some examples, or we're going to actually give you these prepositions, you know, so that way you'll know, you know, when you see these letters at the beginning of a word, if they're not connected, because sometimes you might have a letter at the beginning of the word, but that might be connected to the whole word, you know, and I'll give you an example of that. Alright, so now let's go with some of these prepositions. The prepositions are a, you know, the letter a. So whenever you see the letter a at the beginning of the word, if it's not part of the word, it's I or I am. Alright, and I'll give you an example of that. The word Ephraim, right? The word Ephraim in the Hebrew is spelled Aparium, right? Now the word Aparium means I am fruitful. Okay, so I am fruitful. Now the way you break down I am fruitful, or this word Aparium, there's two words here. You got the a, Oops, let me drop this down. You got the I and you got the paryum, right? Then you put it together as a paryum. I am fruitful. The I at the beginning of the word there is I or I am. Okay, and then the word, let me separate this, I or I am. Okay, and then you have the word, just bear with me 1 second, and then you have the word parya is fruit, right? Parya is fruit, and then the yum at the end once again makes it plural masculine. Okay, so I at the beginning of the word is I or I am. Parya is fruit, then the yum makes it plural masculine. So when you put it all together, paryum, I am fruitful. Okay, so that's the first preposition. The first preposition is I. So there's times when you'll see this letter I at the beginning of the word, it just means I or I am. Okay, if it's not part of the word. Excuse me. Now let's go to the next one. The next one is ba.